Alright, welcome guys, welcome to another live stream. I hope you guys are having a good Friday. Yeah, today I'm gonna be doing a live stream. It's not gonna be as long as usual. I gotta work tomorrow pretty early in the morning, so I simply cannot stream till that late. So we're gonna do a little bit of a shorter stream. We're probably not gonna do a feedback session this week. We're gonna do that next week again though, so if you have some tracks, keep them for next week. Would you mind talking a bit about your workflow? Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have any questions in particular when it comes to workflow, feel free to just ask your questions in the chat, and I'll try and explain what I do. So I was going through my samples earlier today, and I was just looking through, basically what I did is in the top left of your Ableton browser, you can't really see it because the webcam is there and stuff like that, but there's a search bar, right? So if you click in there and if you type anything inside Ableton Live 10, you then get a search result in your browser called All Results, and if you just click that, it'll show you all the samples and all the instruments and everything. So I simply just searched for the word kick, and then I searched for a couple of other words, and I was just going through all the samples because it just searched pretty much every folder that you have every folder that you add to your places in your Ableton browser. It'll just search through all of those, including your Ableton Live packs. And I was just going through, just looking for stuff, and I found some pretty cool stuff. So I just went through and saved them all to my own sample folder, which is pretty much a folder of stuff that I found or made and stuff that I like, so that when I am making a track, I could maybe, use them. So I have one of those things right here. I found this loop, and it on its own, it sounded like this. I don't even know where it comes from, but so I heard that and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. It could work in a drum and bass track. I kind of like that sound. Should be a more deeper drum and bass track probably, but I think that could work, something like that. So I just saved that to my own sample folder, and I thought, like, let's see if I could actually make something with this. So I was making some drums, and I kind of chopped it up, and you can see I offsetted it a little bit. It starts on the off beat now instead of on the first beat. And together with the kick and snare, it kind of sounds like this. And I think that could actually be a pretty cool rhythm for a drum and bass track. So let's see, got some game-changing tip for Mixdown, specifically how to get rid of the shitty plastic lifeless sound. No matter how many masterclasses I watch, I still trash every tune once I A/B it to pros. Well, usually when your track sounds thin, it's usually a matter of adding subtle things like, subtle distortion, so like saturation or compression, stuff like that, to just bring, to just bring the frequencies up more, to even it all out in terms of the frequency spectrum. That's really important if you want to get that big, loud sound. Sometimes layering can come in handy as well to make your sound bigger. So when I say layering, I mean you take your main sound that you've made, and you listen to it and you think like, okay, what does it miss? And then you try to make that in a different layer, and then you add that to it, and then you process them both together, because that'll help to make them sound more cohesive. And then it starts to turn into like its own new sound, and that's kind of like what you want to do. It's difficult though. It's not something I can easily teach in 1 or 2 videos. It's something that just comes with a lot of practice, pretty much. The most important thing, I guess, is just knowing what your tools do. That's probably the most important thing of them all. If you don't understand what everything does, then how are you going to apply those tools? Like, I usually use I usually use the example of like, you have a toolbox, like an actual toolbox with tools like that you need if you're gonna build something, like build a house. You're not gonna build a house without knowing how the tools work, right? So if you wanna, well, you might be able to do it, but it's probably not gonna be as effective as when you actually know what you're doing. So the same applies to music. It's just you have a similar toolbox, which are all your different effects that you can use and all your different VST plugins that you bought. You know, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't understand how they all work, then how are you gonna actually apply them? You know, I mean, you can just put them on somewhere and just, you know, play around until it sounds good, but it's probably going to be a lot more effective if you actually know what each knob in that plugin does. And yeah, I think that's something that's really, really important. And sometimes I tend people seem to forget that. It's not that I'm saying that you forget it though, but you probably understand. Parallel compression too. Yeah, parallel compression can be nice to bring sounds, you know, more up front, to make them sound bigger. On drums it can be definitely nice to really fatten up the drums. Yeah, it comes with practice with time. Yeah, it's just the way it is. You know, that's you know, I can start sweet talking it and making it more beautiful than that it is, but that is just what it is. It's just a lot of practice and knowing what your tools do. That's not something you can learn in like a couple of days. It's just, you just gotta grind, you know, every day. Try and at least put in at least an hour every day, you know. If you come home from school or if you come home from work in the evening, just at least try and do something in your DAW for like, you know, I don't know, an hour maybe. Just try and practice a bit. That helps a lot. Let's see, I also started working on a sub-bass patch. Yo, welcome Ramon. Welcome again. So, let's see. Ishan Nimkar, you asked about talking about workflow. So, do you have any specific questions? I mean, you didn't say anything. Oh, you did say something, the parallel compression thing. I mean, if you have any questions, you know it. Just feel free to ask. How you design your respace? I can show you the one that I have here, which is a really simple one. Like, it's the more mid-rangey layer of this bass. Like, if you listen to the bass, there's a noise layer, which I'm not sure if I like it. It's just there. I might want to change the pattern of it. That's just something that I added, but I'm not sure about that. And then the other layers, and if I turn off the sidechain, so what I'm doing here is quite a bunch of stuff, but it's not as complicated as it looks. So this is just a patch coming straight out of Serum. Now, if anybody knows, I still hear a slight click, and I was playing around with the release here just to see. It's actually less when I bring it up to about 100 milliseconds, but sometimes I still hear a click when it's at about 20 milliseconds, which to me sounds... it doesn't have to do that, but I guess we'll just bring it up a little bit. Now, the patch here is really simple, as you can see. It's just a saw wave. And that's really loud. Sorry. It's just a saw wave, and I actually have a saw wave here of 8 voices. And just a bunch of detuning on the saw waves. That's pretty much it. And I've ran them through a low-pass filter, which has an LFO connected to it. Actually, it has... I think it has 2 connected to it. Yeah. So, this LFO is actually the one that's doing the main rhythm. And this one is what is doing the thing where it opens up at the end. So, if I bypass this one, then you're just gonna hear this. See, so then it just stays the same. And then when I turn this one on, let me try and put that so that you can see it. See, then it opens up this filter a little bit more, so that on those higher notes, it just, you know, it sounds a little bit more interesting, I guess. And that is just the main patch, actually. There's one other thing that I did. I added a high-pass filter to get rid of the sub-bass, because I'm using 8 voices, and I'm using detuning, and I'm also using I'm also using the random stereo spread, so that the phase actually spreads out in terms of, well, how do you say it? Well, that the stereo field is more spread out. I mean, I can, in the global tab here, if I bring the width all the way down, it's gonna sound like that, which is okay, but I actually like that wide sound, and I'm actually going to get rid of the sub so that I can add a completely mono sub instead, which is a lot more consistent, and that gives it a lot more bass. So I just let this one on the wide setting, and then I just added the high pass filter, because without the high pass filter you have a lot of sub bass. And that sub bass isn't really consistent. It's going all over the place in terms of the volume, and it's really wide, and that's not really something that's ideal. It's difficult to mix. You could mix it with such a wide sub, but it's very difficult to get right. So better to just not do it. So I get rid of the sub with a high pass filter here, and there's probably still a little bit of sub in there, but don't even have to mind that. And the compressor was actually turned off, so I can just turn it off because I wasn't even using that. And then I decided to do one more thing, which is a audio effect rack here. Now all this is I have one chain that's completely empty, so that's just the audio is just passing through. That's the dry chain. And then I have one other chain with a reverb on it, and that reverb is then high passed, so that we get a little bit more reverb when the filter opens up more on the end here. So see, and then on those higher notes we get that reverb, because only on those higher notes we actually have frequencies that occupy within this range. So that's when the reverb will come in, and then after that it's just a matter of EQing. So here I actually take off all the low frequencies because I'm replacing that with the sub layer that we have above here. So I've actually took all that out, and then I had a compressor, which I think is just compressing when those higher notes come in. Yeah, see, so when the higher notes come in, the volume increases, and that compressor just basically controls that volume so that it doesn't spike up too much. And then I have a limiter on the end, which is just, well, making it louder, I guess. Well, not even, it's not doing anything. I'm not sure why it's there, but I could use it if I want to increase the volume of the bass, I guess. And then I had this final EQ, which is just dipping out a little bit of these frequencies here. Not sure why I did that. It actually sounds pretty nice like that as well, but I'll have to see if I'll actually end up using that. Which one was it? Wait, what? I had one that was a cut, right? Oh yeah, there, number 5. So that's basically it. And then that is layered with the other one. I think I want to have these ones here a little bit louder, but I'm not sure. I'll have to see if I can make that work. How did you get that side tap in Pro L2? Very simple. Let's see, what was it again? I think right here. Yeah, by default it's set to the 16 or minus 48 dB ones, I think. You need to switch that one to the loudness one, and then you get this one, that side tap. So, let's see, what other things. What will you apply or have already applied to make it sound fat? Well, that's what I just explained you pretty much. It's the, you can see I'm just really giving it its own frequency range by using the EQs pretty much after every step. Every time when you're doing like something to it, I like to put an EQ afterwards so that I can control how much frequencies actually are there, I guess. And on the sub I'm doing a similar thing. You can see I'm low passing, and I'm actually notching out I'm you know, cutting out a little bit of a frequency around, well, just above 100. What is it? 132 hertz. But this is all really rough right now. It is just, I literally started this, I don't know, a couple of hours before the stream, I guess. Yeah, indeed, what Eddie is saying. Compression and distortion can go a long way. although you might have to EQ a bit after that. Yeah, exactly. I use a lot of saturation normally. This one not that much yet, because I haven't really done too much on this one. But normally I use a lot of saturation to get my sounds to sound bigger. Especially on drums. I love doing them on drums. And by the way, it's raining outside, so if you guys hear something... ASMR. Finally, we're having some rain out here. We've been having heat wave after heat wave for like the last 2 or 3 months, I guess. So now finally, we've got some rain. Let's see, on the drums, what did I do there to make it sound big? Not that much either, actually. You can see the drums. On the group, there's nothing going on. It's completely empty. On the kick channel, there's actually nothing going on as well. There's very little going on here. The only thing that I'm doing here is I've took a utility and I made the kick mono. Now, it is almost mono, but now it's completely mono, so that's just, for me, it makes it easier to mix, and I just like my drums to be centered, actually. So that is completely mono, and all I did is take out a little bit of the bass from this kick, because it was quite a bass-heavy kick. And this utility after here, it's turned off, but I'm using this, because when I turn it on, you can see I have the phases flipped on this one, so it flips the, what do you call it, well, basically you have a positive and a negative phase, and it flips those. So when your kick is out of phase with your bass, you can use this to check if it sounds better, you know. So when you turn this on, it flips the phase, and if it sounds better, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I usually have that on my kick channel. I just find that really handy. And on the snare channel, not that much either. Similar thing. Utility to make it mono. Frequency shifted to bring the frequency down a little bit. It's a very tiny bit, but it makes a tiny difference. EQ. And then on the snare, I actually added a camel fat with a little bit of tube distortion here, just to make it, you know, that is just that little bit of saturation that it needed to make it sound bigger. So without that, it sounds like this. Because I did all the EQing here, it actually made it a little bit quieter. See, but I found it to be too strong around that fundamental frequency of the snare, so I actually did some EQing there. And then I added the camel fat to bring that level up again, to make it louder again. Ableton 10.2 gives me mad memory leaks. I've actually updated today, and I have not yet had any issues. Let me check. I'm using 1.5 gigabyte of RAM, so that's not too bad, because I also loaded some contact stuff here, so that's not too bad actually. So yeah, I mean, I have 32 gigabyte of RAM, so I'm gonna be fine anyway. But I have not had any issues. Thoughts on Logic Pro X? I just bought it after watching so many of your videos. Ableton looks sick. It has such a better interface and workflow. I've used Logic very little actually. I've used it a couple of times at other places, you know, because I don't work on a Mac system. I did use it when I was in school. That's when I did use it, because there they had Mac computers. Yeah, I mean it works. It's for me at least. Like, for me it doesn't really matter what program it is. I can make music in any piece of software. It's just that the workflow is different, you know? And it's just a matter what workflow you find works best. And I worked a long time in FL Studio because I loved how it worked. I loved the you know, complexity and how deep you could go with it. And then I learned about Ableton Live, and in between I've used like all the other ones. I've used Cubase for a while, I've used Reason for a while. Heck, I even started out using trackers, so you know, I've gone a long way. But yeah, when I found out Ableton Live, which I think was around 2011, I think, and I switched over, and from that moment on, I never ever looked back to any of the other DAWs that I've used to use. And I've used Cubase for quite a while as well, and you know, I've never ever looked back at any one of those. So that's just because I love the workflow of Ableton. But you just gotta use whatever you like best. That's the best advice I can give you. What do you recommend for someone with a limited budget? I currently use Valve and don't have a lot of exciting plugins. One I use all the time is Trash 2. Well, let me tell you that with your stock plugins, you can do so much. So just get used to using your stock plugins, because there's a lot you can do with them. And the thing is that a lot of these bigger plugins, a lot of these third-party plugins, they do similar things, and they might do them better, or they might do them more easily. But it's not that you cannot get a same, well, it's not like you cannot get a similar effect using stock plugins. So I guess when you use your stock plugins a lot, it might even learn you more about the actual software, you know, and about the actual types of effects as well. Like if you just start using the stock effects and make sure that you learn those very well, then it'll be much easier once you step over to the more, you know, third-party plugins. And it all comes down to knowing your tools. And, you know, it's not really like all those bigger plugins are any much different than your stock plugins, you know? Like a compressor will always be a compressor, if you get what I mean. And an EQ will always be an EQ. So it's just that it might be a more fancy one that has more options, but at the core of it, it's still going to do the same thing. So get used to using a lot of your stock stuff. I've actually started out using a lot of the Ableton Live stock plugins, stock effects and instruments, and I still use a lot of them because I love them. They work really well. Sorry, to be more specific, how to get exciting Neuro bass on a budget. Well, same answer, I guess. Same answer. Just know what you have to do to make a Neuro bass. Like usually you start out with a couple of detuned waveforms that create a nice moving sound that has a, you know, a good amount of movement to it. And then you add filtering. So use one of your stock filters. You could also use an EQ as a filter and automate one of the EQ points around. That's pretty much filtering as well. So, you know, just start filtering, start compressing, start distorting, start saturating, you know, just stuff like that, and just do that until it sounds interesting. And yeah, like I said, it just comes with time, it just comes with practice. It's creepy how much you look like my cousin. Okay. What's the Ableton stock plugin equivalent to a stereo imager plugin? I don't think it has one. It doesn't have a stereo imager plugin unless the only thing it has is the utility. Inside of the utility you can do a little bit of stereo widening. You have the width knob here, so you can use that to widen things up or to make things more mono, but that's about as much as you get, pretty much. So yeah, if you really want like a good stereo widener, then it might be worth it to invest a little bit and maybe get like the Waves S1 imager or stuff like that, because that's a pretty good one. But yeah, that's one of the things that Ableton lacks. But there's a couple of other things, but every DAW has its own, you know, shortcomings. So play track. Okay, I'll play what I have. Oh, wait, we have a layer here that you should not hear yet. Okay, so let's see if I copy this over 4 times. It's gonna be a pretty boring thing right now, but doesn't really matter. I just wanna see how often I want this thing to come in. Let's see what that sounds like. I'm gonna have to find a good layer here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here. What do we need? What do we want? What options do we have here? Mystical or dark? Dark sounds interesting. Let's do dark. And let's just go for the bottom one. Not sure what it sounds like, but let's see what it sounds like. So I'm gonna move this around because then I can go out of contact. Okay. And then I should be able to, yeah, I can set the X mix here and the Y mix there. So now this XY pad controls the other XY pad inside contact. And let me close that browser down so that one is a little bit smaller. This plugin is pretty big by default. This library in contact. Okay, let's see what that does. I'm actually gonna add some automation here. Okay, you know what? Let me do it by hand. That's probably easier to do. Okay. So now we have that. I'm not sure about this layer in Thrill, but I'm gonna go through some of the other ones and see which one sounds best. But I just want to have some automation here so that I don't really have to go in and completely change that thing every time. Now I can just play it and just see which one sounds best, and then we can always edit this automation. Damn, Thrill seems like a pretty good time saver when creating atmos and rises. Yeah, a lot. It's very nice for rises. That's why I got it pretty much. I was looking at some videos and I was like, damn, this thing is good for making rises. Because you right now I'm just loading up one of the presets, but you can actually make your own. So there's like a ton of layers that you can choose from. It's like kind of similar to the Rise and Hit library, and some of the other cinematic Ableton or cinematic Ableton libraries. No, the cinematic contact libraries by Native Instruments. So how is that bass made? I explained that a little while ago, so if you want to see that, just go back in time. Just need to time travel a little bit to the past. No, you can just scroll back in the video, and then you can see how I made it. So let's see if there's a different one. I'm just gonna go to the next one. Come on, load. It's loading the samples right now. This one seems to be a pretty big one, so I'm pretty interested to see what this one sounds like. It has the woodwind thrills, electroacoustic winds, I guess. So in here you can do all kinds of stuff, like if I want to pitch this up an octave. We can change any of these things. You know, you get a completely different browser here, so you can just, let's say I don't like this one, I want the Thrills 1. See, so you can just change that if you want. I don't like this one. Let's do this one. So there it's making a pretty sudden jump in the automation. Yeah, that's right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do that. That just fixes that. Could you show us how you did the sub to get it more punch? Because every time I try to make some sub bass, it gets a little messy. Oh yeah, sure. I actually did something to the sub bass to give it some punch. So this is just a sub. And what it is it's actually, I played around with trying out a smooth square wave from Massive, which is like a little bit of a rounded off square wave to give it some more harmonics, but actually I liked it more with the analog BD sine wave from Serum, Now the first thing I did, and that's very important, is setting the phase to restart every single time, so that every time it starts, it'll start right at the zero crossing point of the waveform. That just helps to prevent clicks at the start of your of every note. Now I still had some clicks every now and then, so yeah, it's just a matter of making sure to dial in the release times and the attack times properly. But I find for this sub, actually, the default values just were fine, so I don't hear any clicks. All I did is I added the low pass filter, which is not really needed. But it does take off a little bit of upper harmonics. There's a slight change, so I did use it. And then I have this LFO. Now, what I did here, and that is pretty simple. Let me go into the matrix. This LFO right here is set to a speed of 2.5 Hertz, and it's set to the envelope mode, so it only plays once every time a note triggers. And it's connected to the master tuning, which is like the pitch, and then I brought it up to, what is it, 11? I'm not sure what that is in semitones, doesn't really matter, it's just there to give a little bit of a transient to the start of each note. Like if I turn these three down, this is what the sub sounds like. See, now it's just a regular sustained sub. And then what I did is I first added the envelope to the tuning. And that already helps a lot. That really helps to bring the, you know, to bring that sub up and to give it a bit of punch. And then I decided to do a similar thing with the volume, and I actually think I might want to back these down a little bit, because it's a little much. But just like that, something. And these two are connected to the volume of the two oscillators, so those are the ones here. So this one, I turned the oscillator off, so I can actually do that, right? I'm not even using the oscillator anymore, so right now we only have two. And that's all that's all I've done to the sub. Then I've just done this one right here, which is just taking out that harmonic there a little bit, which makes it sound more bassy. I found that it was a little bit too much of that harmonic, and that's pretty much it. This thing right here doesn't really sound like the way I want it. What I'm probably gonna do if I want to use this is go for the initialized patch and just make my own. So I guess we can just make our own. The ones here in the cluster are actually ones that you can actually play in pitches. So if I use this one, I can actually play it in a particular key, which is nice. So let's look for one in here that sounds cool. Okay. See, this is pretty cool thing to use for making like rises and stuff like that. I'm gonna try make something with a synth, I think. But let's see, what should I do with this? It sounds pretty interesting, I guess. I think this could work for a track. Yeah, that's better. Dun, 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 dun. Now I have the head going like that. Do I want that all the time? I actually like it without the hi-hat. I think here I want to do a change with the bass. Something like that. Just a little change there. Hey Art, do you also perform or do DJ sets? No, I don't. Currently not, at least. I'm not a DJ. I've never pursued being a DJ. I have a bunch of friends that do that though. I have a bunch of friends that actually made it into being a DJ and performing a lot. Like, but I don't. I'm more like, you know, I'm more on the side of actually doing sound design work, you know, and working for clients and helping other people get their tracks to sound better, you know, and getting paid for that. That's, I guess, what I do. And so far it's going pretty alright. So, yeah, I don't know what will happen in the future though, you know, you'll never know what happens, but for now, I'm happy doing this, so. Okay, I think here I want to maybe add a ride. Dun 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 dun. Let's try this one. Let's set that to the beats mode. Let's drag that out. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is let's add a little bit of a volume change here. That'll probably just be in the background, and I'll probably have some other percussion come in here as well. I kind of like that layer though. This one really adds to the drums. That one is just, I love that layer. It just works so good with the drums. Okay, let's see. Favorite third-party plugins? Yeah, that is a lot. It completely depends on what you are looking for and what you want and what you're willing to do. Like, I can probably name a favorite plugin in any category, so. But I mean, just by looking at my streams, you can probably already notice a couple of plugins that I use a lot. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the right here, I think. Oh yeah, I might be able to use one of these. Let's see. Okay, I definitely could use like a big riser there. That sounded pretty cool. I like that. Would you say Isotope Alloy 3? Oh wait, Alloy 2. Yeah, I was about to say. Is worth it, or can Ableton Transient Shaper do the job? With the Ableton Transient Shaper, I guess you mean the one on the drum bus. I guess you mean this one. Where is it? Here, the transient thing. I find this one lacks a lot. I personally use the one that comes with Neutron 2, which is also by Isotope. The Neutron 2 transient shaper, that's the one that I use a lot. This one sounds pretty good. I think it's like the replacement of Alloy. I think this one replaced Alloy, actually. But this one is great. It's absolutely awesome. This is the one that I use a lot. That was just really absurdly, insanely high, but that's the one that I use a lot. Yeah, I think this one is the one that replaced Alloy 2. I think they replaced it somehow, I'm not sure why, but I used to use Alloy 2 a lot, but this one is so much better. So let's just have it be pretty subtle. I'm not even sure if I like that right, to be honest. What do we need? I think we need some percussion or something. Yeah, let's add that. Let's put an echo device on this. Let's make some delayed percussion. Like, that could be pretty nice. Might have to find different percussion sounds, but dun 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 dun. Where are we gonna put those? Probably. They might probably come in here. Let's get rid of that ride for now because it annoys me. Let's see, where are we gonna do them? Where are we gonna add these? Yeah, I'm gonna find some other sounds for that. Something more high pitched, I think. Not that high pitched. Yeah, probably a bongo or something like that. That already sounds better. We could also do 1/4. That sounds not how I want it, definitely on dotted notes. Not sure if I like these bongo sounds. Might even just use one. Although it sounds a bit empty with just one. Hey, welcome back, Monster Dub Club. No, I need something else. Not these bongo hits that have a delay on them. We need something else. Something a lot more interesting. Might even make something myself. Let's see. Okay. Hmm. 2 bars? How's it going? It's going pretty good. Yeah, it's going pretty good. EP is taking shape very quickly now. I'm working on one of the tracks on the Mixdown, and it's pretty much done. It sounds pretty big right now. And then I just have to finish the other Mixdowns, and I have to finish one track for the EP, and then I can do the Mixdown for that one as well. So it's going pretty good. How are you? It's starting to sound nice. Dun 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 dun. And then here, I guess, after this one, we should definitely start changing up the bass in terms of the rhythm, I think. Because otherwise it becomes too still. Because it becomes too boring, I guess, if we don't do that. Do you only make neurofunk music? No, I don't. I make quite a bit of different styles of music, actually. I started out making hip-hop, but I, at some point, started doing electronic music. Which at that point was electro house. That's what I was making. Then I made dubstep. From dubstep I went into glitch hop and more neuro hop kind of things. Never really released a neuro hop thing though. I did release a couple of glitch hop tracks, but never a neuro hop track. I did make a lot of that stuff, but I just never ended up releasing it. And then I went into drum and bass pretty much. But a whole long time ago, I started out making gabber music. That's what got me into music production. So I really went through a whole bunch of genres, but drum and bass was one of the ones that really sticked, you know. I just love drum and bass. That's just it. But I'm still working on different kind of things as well. Like I love working on more cinematic music, cinematic stuff. So I'm definitely trying to get some more stuff to do on that kind of thing. So I'm looking to, you know, maybe find some clients and do some more cinematic style music. But right now I'm really focusing on neurofunk or drum and bass, whatever you want to call it. Let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's see what happens if we take that snare away. I think I'm gonna do something like that. Like this track is gonna be really odd rhythm anyway. Like the main rhythm, the snare is just such a weird rhythm. Like I'm skipping every snare. Like normally you would do this, right? This is what you would normally get. Let's do this. This is more like what you would normally get. Right? And that's nice, but I really liked that rhythm without that snare there. So and I guess I will bring that other snare in at some point. Maybe here. Actually, I don't like it with that other snare in it. It just takes away of the rhythm, I think. Yeah, I think that's what the drop should be in terms of length, actually. And then here we can go into like a breakdown. I might want to keep using this one though. Definitely. Let's try something here. That's nice. Safe, man. Glad to hear it. I can't wait until you have fully finished it, man. You're making some mad sounds. I'm not too bad. Cheers. Currently got writer's block. Loving this filtered synth sound. Thanks, man. Yeah, I just wanted to make something different for a change. Like, usually I make much louder stuff, you know, much heavier stuff. And it's all going pretty good. Like, the mix of the track is almost there, of the first track of the EP. I'm not completely happy with it yet. I think it distorts too much right now. It's loud enough, that's the point. It's loud enough, but there's too much distortion. So I think if I tone down the sub bass a little bit more, it'll not distort that much, and I think that'll improve the mix. I think that's just what it needs. But yeah, it's going pretty good with the EP. It's definitely getting there. Okay, we need some more synth stuff going on. And I think we should work on this layer a bit more. This layer is nice, but it can have some more stuff. So let's try and add some chorus. Okay, let's play around with one of these filter types here. Let's try one of these phaser ones and let's see what happens. See, we can probably do something with that as well. Ooh, that sounded cool. Just adding a bit more movement. Hello, everybody, and greetings back to Russia from the Netherlands. It reminds me of Survey the Hunter. I don't know the track. I don't know the track. Let me bring that track up on SoundCloud so that I can check it out after the stream. Survey the Hunter. Okay, cool. I'll keep that one open so that I don't forget about it. I'll love to check that out after the stream. Noisia Radio, cool. Yeah, Noisia Radio is cool. They do some cool stuff. make this layer a bit louder. Let's see. I'll just whack a camel fat on it. That always works. But I'm also gonna do something else here though. I'm gonna give this one a bit more of an attack, so that it does that. That's a little bit better. I'm actually gonna try it out with one of the Valhalla reverbs and see if I like that more. I'm not a big fan of the sound of the Ableton or of the Serum reverb. I'm not sure why, but I just don't like the sound of it a lot. So usually I don't really use it. So let's try out Vintage Verb. This one is great for on bass because it has a built-in low cut here, so that's absolutely awesome. Let's just do about that. Let's bring the low cut up. Yeah, see, I like that a lot more. That just sounds a lot more pleasing to me. Than this. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the way that reverb sounds. Okay, what is that skin and can you share it? This skin is one I'm currently making. I actually wanted to release this skin pretty soon. And I made a whole bunch of different colors. I made a whole bunch of different versions of it. Like, this one is a blue version, where everything is blue. I also made one that was like lime green. I made a red one. I made a yellow one, an orange one, purple one. You know, I made all kinds of colored ones. And then I updated Ableton. And fuck me, but it completely overridden my Ableton installation, and the skins were in that folder. And guess what? It completely removed them. So I had to remake the skin. So I made the blue one first, because that's the one I like to use. But now I have to remake all the other ones. So I'm gonna make all the other different colors again, and then I'm gonna release them. This time I saved them on my desktop though, so I have them somewhere safe. But I really want to, you know, just put them out there somewhere, but I have to make the other ones first. If I put them out there, I want to put like a pack out there with all the different colors that I made. Since you seem to aim for something very minimalistic, maybe a wide sub could work well. Yeah, maybe, but I don't generally use wide subs. I don't like that a lot. This one is completely mono. See, the thing with a wide sub, see, is that because of the detuning, it just gets that, you know, that sound. I don't like it, you know. The volume just changes, and I'm not a big fan of that, so I just stick to a mono sub and keep things simple. You can always make it pseudo wide at some point if you want, but I'm not really gonna bother with that right now. I'm just trying to get an idea out, trying to get something interesting, and it's going pretty good so well. I think I want to start working on transitioning into a breakdown, and I'll work on filling this thing up later, I guess. It's all going in the right direction. Yeah, I know the stereo imager with from Ozone. I was actually aiming at that I have the where is it? Ozone 8 bundle here. Like if I put this one on here and turn the stereo eyes on, and I can turn all of these off because the sub is just, it's just, there's not much else than sub. So yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, I guess it could work. I mean, I don't generally do that a lot, but this kind of works better. This definitely works better than using detuning on the sub, though. The only question is, does it truly still sound good in mono? I guess it does. Yeah, it does. Of course, the main Reese is going to sound a little bit thin, a little bit weird with the phasing going on, but that's just the detuning. You know, that's just because that one is pretty wide. And I like that one wide because I like when it opens up into those higher notes, that it becomes this wider sound, you know? That's kind of interesting. What is this kind of genre named, by the way? I've heard stuff like this before, but never knew. Is it minimal DnB or half-step DnB or something? I usually just call it minimal neurofunk, I guess. It's just a... to me, it's still neurofunk. It's just a different style of producing it, you know? Like, to me, like, there's a difference between genres and production styles. So, like, you have the genre neurofunk, which is a subgenre of drum and bass. And then within the subgenre of neurofunk, there's like a whole bunch of different producers, and every producer has its own kind of sound, you know, and every producer likes to do its own particular thing. Some producers make more minimal stuff, some producers go for super heavy stuff with more rhythmic basses, some people go for the more heavy tearing Reeses, like the old school Noisia stuff, you know. Everyone has its own kind of thing, and I feel like the more minimal stuff, like what Signal used to do a lot, like the last couple of things Signal put out were a lot more heavier stuff than I was used, well, that I'm used of by him. His old stuff was a lot more minimal, and yeah, to me it's still like neurofunk. It's just, I don't know, it's just a more minimalistic thing, a more deeper version of it, I guess. Like I guess it's maybe even it could even be like dark liquid music, like like liquid drum and bass. Within drum and bass, there's so many overlap between the subgenres as well. Like, it's just, yeah, humans like to put things in boxes, indeed, and to me, it's all just drum and bass. It's just, I call it neurofunk because then people know what I mean, you know? If I say drum and bass, then a lot of people might think that I'm gonna make commercial style drum and bass, like Pendulum or, you know, whichever other commercial style drum and bass artist is out there. But that's not the type of stuff that I do, you know? I would love to try it at some point and just see how far I can get. That could be a subject for a future video or a future live stream. But it's just, to me, it's all drum and bass, you know? It's just that every producer has its own way of making it, its own style, and yeah, like, does it matter what genre it is? To me it doesn't, like, I just like to blend stuff and see what happens. So what are we gonna do here? I guess I'll stop the bass sounds here. I might even stop the drums there as well. Yeah, something like that. And it started raining again. Great. Dun 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 dun. What are we gonna do now? Let's see. I saved a whole bunch of samples to my folder today. Let's see, what else do I have? Interesting. Let's try if we can put that in here somehow. It's just a sample though, but like maybe if I just gonna turn this into something completely different now. Let's see. Let's take the reverb that we had. Where was it? I can actually take this one as well. I could use that sound later on in the drop, probably. Like maybe here. Okay, that was weird. Let's try and make this longer. I'm gonna warp this and let's see if I can stretch this out. I'm gonna stretch this out a lot more. And there's more synth layer, so let's put it right in the synth group so that it doesn't get as much sidechaining as the bass gets. because the bass needs a lot of sidechaining because we have so much sub. We need to make room for that kick, because the kick has quite a bit of sub as well. So generally speaking, there's not really a good idea to make those two work together, a really subby sound and a really subby kick, but if you use enough sidechaining, it can work. Was kind of nice with the tail on the end, but there's a little weird thing on the end here that I don't like. Yeah, that's better. Now let's try and distort that a little bit. Maybe with the pedal device, and then using the fuzz setting. That really adds a pretty gnarly distortion. Let's see what happens. Ooh. That makes it sound nasty. Probably don't want to use it here though, but maybe... Oh, let's just try it. Let's try what happens. Maybe put it here. Yeah, that's nice. I guess I could put it there. Let me do that, so now I can actually see what it looks like, because I think it goes on a little bit too long, so I'm gonna cut it short just a bit. See, I don't like that fade out here, so what I'm gonna do is do this. That's better. And I'll copy it over here. I envy you because rain is falling where you live. I wish a downpour happens in Croatia right now. Yeah, it's finally starting to rain again. I mean, it's been heat wave after heat wave over here. I was barely able to pull through with the heat in this room right here. Like, I was actually... I wanted to start doing the final mixdowns of my track a couple of weeks ago, but I simply was not able to think straight because it was about 40 degrees in here, and I was just not able to concentrate on doing the actual mixdown. So that's, you know, I'm not used to having 40 or 35 degrees outside, but 40 almost inside. I was like, I'm not used to that, and I just wasn't able to work on the EP as I wanted to. So I had to postpone it a little bit, but right now I'm working on the final mixdowns. I'm gonna do a little bathroom break. I'll have this play so you guys have something to listen to. I'll be back in just a little bit. No, it's actually raining out here. It's actually raining and it's pretty windy as well. I actually feel I have my window open just a little bit, because otherwise it just gets way too hot out here. But I can feel slight raindrops coming in every now and then because of the wind. But they're not Foley sounds. I'm thinking, should we do maybe this section after this section, so switch these two around, so that we have the one without the snare in the middle and then this one after it, or should we just do this first and then do this one and then go into the breakdown? I can try and gate it, but usually that doesn't really work too well. Let's try. So let's see if it works. A little more. I think now it works. I hope my voice doesn't cut out too much though. And sorry, I'm eating by the way, but I'm eating candy, so. Let's see. Take one kick right here. Let's load up a synth. I think I'm gonna load up Omnisphere. I have a question. How do you approach mixdowns these days? Do you go for the arrangement of the track with a slight mix, like EQ and leveling, then a more in-depth mix? Or do you prefer to do a full mix right at the start for each sound you use? These days when I do my mixdowns, I have a good selection of tracks that I personally really like from other people. Like, you know, I have a few tracks by Noisia, a few Blacks and Empire tracks. There's a couple of tracks by Mephius, of course, and just, you know, some other big guys in the genre. And I just use those pretty much to reference to my own track. Usually when I have a track, I look for one of those reference tracks. I look for a track that is similar in terms of the style and in terms of how it's arranged, maybe. Like if I have a really rhythmic bass, then I'll probably find a reference track that also has a really rhythmic bass, you know, because that gives you a better, you know, a better reference point, I guess. And then it's just literally listening to your track. Of course, every now and then I will reference it to one of those reference tracks, but mostly what I do is just I listen to the track and I just tell myself, like, okay, what does it lack? Like, a couple of things you would probably just need a reference track for, like, and that's like judging, is the loudness alright? Like, how loud are the other guys in the genre? How loud are they making their stuff? Is my stuff on par with what they are doing? You know, that's something you definitely need to use a reference track for, or at least know what level they are at so that you can read it on a meter. But a lot of stuff is just listening to your track and thinking to yourself, like, okay, what should I improve? What does it lack, you know? And where are the problems in the mix, you know? And that's hard to teach, man. It's really hard to explain. It comes down to something that I said earlier as well about it comes with practice and a lot of time, and that's actually true. But, you know, I kind of mix as I go. So I do a lot of mixing stuff when I'm actually producing. So when I'm getting to the end of the track, I'm already pretty much done with the mixdown. I mean, it needs a few tweaks and it needs some touch-ups here and there. But usually the mix will pretty much be going in the right direction already. It's just a matter of, you know, fixing all the things and getting as much out of it as possible, I guess. Like, if there's a sound that falls a little bit to the background at some certain point, then figure out why it's doing that and fix it. Give it its own space so that it doesn't do that, you know? And that's just all it is. It's just looking at your track, or especially listening at your track, and just listening to your track and just say, like, okay, where are any problems, or what could be a problem, you know? And something you always should do is keep the version that you had before. Never just do it in the project itself. Always make a copy of the project before you start doing the mixdown, so that when you're done, you can compare the two and see if it sounds better or not. Sometimes I'll even do like 2 or 3 different versions of a mixdown of a track, just to see which of the ones sounds best, you know? And sometimes the second one might come out as the best one. Sometimes the third one might come out as the best one, and sometimes the first one is best, you know? It just really depends. And I just keep working on the mix until I'm happy, pretty much. So that could be a long time or it could be a short time. All depends on how quick it goes. But yeah, like I said, it's just hard to teach that stuff. It's really hard to teach it because it's so complex. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot you can do to make your stuff better. But yeah, it's just knowing your tools very well and knowing how to use them and when to apply them. Okay, let's make a MIDI clip here. And let's start off with an F note, because we are in the key of F. And let's load up a patch. Not really what I was looking for, but let's open up the patch browser. Let's see, what are we looking for? Acoustic strings, maybe. I might want to do some more acoustic stuff here, like orchestra things, but I don't want to like have like a a full-on orchestra. That's really loud. If I'm gonna do that, then I'm definitely gonna need like an actual orchestra library. Let's just try making a chord of some kind. We need an impact sound of some kind. I found a bunch of ones today, I guess. Let's see. Let's try that one. Now this is a stock. This is a stock omnisphere. Good chord for your situation, I believe. A F A C C sharp. Let's try that one out. That would be a major chord. Interesting. Or do you mean like the chord progression? Do you mean like a chord progression? That could also work, but... Where's the minor? No, it's a major, right? I'm not even sure anymore. That sounds great though. Forgot you were in F minor. Yeah, I'm in F minor. But this one works as well. Like this is, if we're looking at, what is it, F Phrygian actually. That's more what I'm using, to be honest. Then this chord would work. I think this is a, what is this? It's a weird chord. Let's just say that. It's some kind of an F minor with an added C sharp to an F sharp major. No, not even that, an F sharp augmented, maybe? I'm not too sure. I don't give a shit, to be honest, as long as it sounds good. Just keep switching the notes around until they sound good, I guess. Now, I do think that maybe that one actually could work. The one that you said, which is the major one. Nah, I definitely want to keep it minor, I think. We can go down to C sharp. Riggedy, riggedy, wreck, son! Damn, that was loud. Thanks, Techo Official, for the follow. C sharp minor 7th. C sharp minor 7th. That would be an odd one because that's not in the scale. Would that be that? See, it's a beautiful chord though, but I don't think that's part of the skill of F Phrygian. F Phrygian skill. No, then we have to go to the E flat. I think in this case for C sharp it would become a major chord. It would have to become that instead. Which is the exact same as what we already have. Like I don't care. We can go to, like, I'm just gonna bring this one up. The other one would be going down to C. C actually works very well. That would just be a minor. But I don't think I want to do such. I don't even think I want to do a chord progression. Like, I think I just want to have like a sustained thing, just a pad and just more textural kind of things. Anyway, I just came up with something that could even work. I think I'll have like a breakdown first, and then I'll have a build-up. So the build-up would be like right here. Let me actually give it some locators. Build-up would be right there. That's the breakdown. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then here I have that one sounds fucking horrible. This whole patch sounds fucking weird. The ringing stuff is nice, but it's a little bit too atonal, I think. I guess this one makes it easier to just write something first. Something like that could be nice. Sounds epic, man. A break over that will sound banging. Maybe a super fat Reese too. Yeah, maybe like a Reese on the end of that thingy here. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's definitely better. My dude, do you plan to do a feedback stream later? No, sorry, today I'm not gonna do a feedback stream. Reason being, I have to work tomorrow. So, they had some issues at my work, and one of the dudes basically had a burnout, and he was scheduled for tomorrow, and so they asked somebody else, who was also, available, because they knew, like, I do live streams every Friday, and I'm not able to, wake up that early. So I was like, cool. They asked somebody else, so it's all fine. And then last week, guess what? The other person also gets into a burnout. Well, not really a burnout, but she's not feeling well, and she's also staying at home for a couple of days. So I was the only one left. So yeah, they basically just asked me, said like, hey, listen, it's only gonna happen once. We'll figure something out, but right now we simply don't have any time to, to find somebody else. This is on such short notice. So could you please come Saturday? I was like, yeah, okay, sure. You need to change the fourth on the baseline to resolve. Not sure if I have to. The fourth on the baseline too. Wait, what? The fourth on the baseline. Why would I have to? I don't think so. Plus, I don't care because it sounds nice. Who cares if it's music theory correct? Like, I really don't care that much. It's just all about, does it sound good? What do you do for a job? I just work in a shitty store. Nah, it's just a store that I work in. We sell all kinds of stuff, furniture, and all kinds of stuff there. Wood. So if you're gonna build something, then you'll probably come to our store to buy all the tools that you need and all the stuff that you need. If you wanna paint your house, then you're gonna come to us to get some paint made for you, stuff like that. I usually work on the paint part of the store. I just love working with paint. That's just really nice. No, producing is not my full-time job. It's not. It's the biggest part of my income, though. Music is like the biggest part of what I earn, but I still have a job on the side, just, for some extra. Yeah, see, that doesn't sound nice. Is that what you mean? What? Last bar's chord, try to put A, E to the bass? Why A, E? E is not even in the skill. It's out of the skill. See, that doesn't sound too nice. I kind of like it when it goes up to here though, to the G, similar to the what we're doing here. We're also going up to the G right there, so let's do that. That kind of works. And then I guess here, we would just go back into our F note here. Let's just do that, something like that. But I'm not an F major, that's the point. I'm simply not an F major, so... Doesn't mind, it sounds good the way it is, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. Might put another F note on top here. Or not. Too much. We need a layer underneath this. MIDI track. Let's just bring up Serum again. So we're going F, C sharp, F, C. That's what we're doing. Time to bring the Hans Zimmer percussion, yeah, probably. Oh, why am I bringing the octave up? I need to bring this one up. Okay, here we would start building up again. So, I'm not sure about those notes here. I have a feeling like right here, if I listen to this, let's see. I just have a feeling it needs to go down. Yeah, that could work. It started raining pretty heavily again. Second chord, C sharp to bass. Dude, just let me try and figure it out, okay? Because you can say a lot of things, but most of the time I don't even know what you mean. Second chord, C sharp to bass. Okay. Second chord, C sharp to bass. It is already a C sharp on the bass. Like, I could go from C sharp to C there. I'll have to adjust the chords to it, but... like, it's such a complex, big chord right now. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm gonna make a copy of this so that I don't lose it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one, which is our C sharp chord. I think. Yeah, we would get C sharp major here. And then we would go down to C. And then we should get a major chord. Which note is it? Wait, C... this one? No. Huh? That's weird. Let me just do this. C, okay. C. We get a C minor. And I could turn that to a major if I want. Kinda sounds nice. I'm not doing feedback today because I'll have to work tomorrow pretty early in the morning, so I don't have that long today to stream, so I'm not going to be doing feedback this week. I'll do a feedback session again next week. Nice. Why do people use the Live 8 compressor? Yeah, for sidechaining. Basically because it acts better when doing sidechain. They upgraded the plugin, and ever since then it simply clicks when you do sidechaining. But the Ableton Live 8 version did not click, at least not as much as the new version from Live 9 does. So that's why people still use this one. I'm not sure what the... we can check. I think actually the attack time is the same on both. Let's see. Yeah. They both go to the same time. Let's actually compare the two. Hear the click? Now let's see the other one. See? So that's the Live 8 version. And now the new one even though I set it up completely the same, actually I should even bring the ratio up. Let's bring the knee down. Now it's completely the same. And it just clicks. And I don't know why it does it. And it doesn't matter which one of these you choose, it just does the same thing. Even when I bring up the look ahead and bring the attack time up, it becomes less though, but you would actually have to bring this up to about quite a bit actually. See, about here. But now it doesn't go down as much still on the sidechain. So we now get less sidechaining than we had with the Live 8 compressor. And yeah, now we don't get clicks though. See, so now we do get something similar as here, but this one is just different. I prefer this one, to be honest. I prefer that, so I just always use that one. The clicks were the reason I switched to volume shaper. Didn't have a clue of the Live 8 one. Yeah, I just saved the one from Live 8 and I just put it in my user library. You can grab it from the internet as well, I think. Yeah, I mean they changed the algorithms. That's what they changed. And that fucked it completely. Like, I mean, I get it. It's a different algorithm, but it doesn't work as good as it used to work. So that to me is not a good thing. Even though the algorithm might be better or something, but with sidechaining, it simply does not perform better. I mean, like I said, there's ways to combat it by bringing the look ahead up and by bringing the attack time up to about 10 milliseconds, a little below 10 milliseconds, then you do get click-free sidechaining, but it's not a... But it doesn't sidechain as precise as it does with the Live 8 compressor. Like, this one just responds pretty much immediately, but still you don't get a click, or a very faint click. It's very little. It's weird though. It's weird, I get it, but it's really weird. That sounds actually pretty cool. That's weird. Let's see. We're still using the same pad right here. It's a nice one, but there's other ones in here that can sound pretty cool as well. I see one here that's called There Will Be Pain, and I just have to click it. I need to know what this sounds like. Completely unusable in this track, but it sounds pretty interesting though. Hollywood Studio string section. I might actually replace it for a contact string library at some point. This one is nice though because it has the mod wheel available. So we can do stuff like this. But it's not as clean as Contact does it. That's something I noticed though. Should we try it with a Contact? Let's do that. Let's see what we can make with Contact out of this. I think it might sound better. Contact. A sample disappeared. That's weird. There's nothing loaded. That's a new one. Never seen that before. Let's go for Novo strings. Cello section? Yeah, let's try the cello section. And let's load the violas as well. Both playing the same MIDI channel. We need a reverb, a big reverb. Vintage verb. Big Valhalla room. It's still loading samples as well, so it's freaking out a little bit. Let's just let that load for just a bit. I should keep it on that. I don't want it to start that quiet, so I'm gonna bring this up. Like I might even use this in the intro instead. Might even do that. Not even sure if I want to do it in the breakdown. Might use it just in the intro. By the way, where should the intro be? 16, 16, 16. Oh, I guess I'll start the drop right here. 16, 16, 16, yeah. So I'll start the drop right over here. Another update. I'm gonna turn that off after the stream. I mean, it's great, they're nice plugins, but they update a lot. Like, almost every other day. Drop. I guess here would be another build-up. This is where we start the intro. I don't know, but intro is usually at the beginning of the song. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. Somebody's woke as fuck. I'm thinking where I want to put this. Then here we need some kind of a pad going here. Some texture stuff, I guess. Maybe we can just use this one. Just on the key of F. Yeah, I'll see what I'll do there. I don't think I want that pad or that bass thingy there. Is it just me, or do the violins have a lot of sub-bass clutter? Well, probably yeah, because I haven't EQ'd them yet. I didn't took out any of the sub-bass, so probably yeah. But I don't care right now. I don't care too much about Mixdown stuff when I'm still getting an idea done. I think that letting the cinematic only for the breakdown can be cool because it got the element of surprise. Yeah, true. True. I'm not even sure about that part. Like, I actually wanted to do something a lot more textural, I guess, but I'll figure that out after. Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say. Anyway. I want some more, I don't know, some different percussion going on here as well. I'm not sure what though. I tried the thing with the bongo earlier, which was not really what I want, but something with percussion needs to happen here. Something more interesting. Weird sound. So it sounds kind of nice the way it is now as a riser. That kind of works, but I want to see what it sounds like if I freeze this and then flatten it. And then let's turn it back around. I don't hear it that much, to be honest. Hear it a little bit, but I think I like the other version more. Which would be this. Have you tried Harmor from ImageLine? Yes, I did. I don't like the layout of Harmor. I don't like the way the interface looks. It just looks way too cluttered, if you ask me. It's a great plugin though. You can do a lot of stuff with it, but for me, it just kills my workflow because it's just such a, I don't know, just the layout of the plugin. I absolutely don't like it. So, you know, that's why I don't use it. But I used it in the past when I was a FL Studio user. So. It's a great thing though. The imagery synthesis thing is definitely nice. But other than that, you know, I just get lost in it, and I don't know. I like my stuff when it's a little bit more, how do you say it? Just that you can see everything, and that it's a little bit easier to work with. That's mainly like also the reason why I switched from FL to Ableton. It's just that the workflow made so much more sense to me, you know. Instead of in FL, it all just felt like I had to do way too many things to achieve what I want, and with Ableton, it all just became so much easier to do, you know. And it just depends on what your workflow is and what your workflow is like. But for me, Ableton worked so much better. And the same thing goes for like Harmor compared to something like Serum, or I don't know. I know it's not the same kind of synth, but I cannot really think of a similar synth to Harmor right now. But you get what I mean. A shaker that is like a step later than the hi-hats maybe. Yeah, what I'm thinking is some more delayed percussion, but I want that percussion to be something weird. You know, I might even sit down tomorrow, like when I come home from work tomorrow, I might even sit down and make some weird percussion sounds with FM synthesis, like just some more like otherworldly percussion sounds, not really percussion sounds that you can pin to a particular percussion instrument, like a bongo or a conga or something like that. No, more something that is, I don't know, more electronic percussion sounds, I guess, and then delay them so that they get some rhythm going with the main drums, some more syncopation, I guess. So that's what I'm thinking about, at least. But yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to make those sounds first. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm actually gonna stop streaming in just a bit because it's already 11:15 for me right now. I'm definitely not gonna stream much longer because I'll have to get ready, pack my stuff for tomorrow. I'll have to go to work, and I'll have to be at work at 9 AM, so I need to catch my sleep tonight. So, are there any final questions? I think this would be a good moment to just see if there's any questions left that you guys want to know the answer to. I'll search something to drink. More water. So, yeah. This is what we made today. Cool. So, just had to do that to see how it sounds if it a little bit more squashed. This is definitely not mixed right yet, so I'll have to figure that out. The bass is too quiet compared to the drums. If I look at the limiter, I can just see that. The drums peak up way higher than the bass, so that needs to be evened out a lot more. But if we just bring the bass up right now, it's going to sound way louder than the drums. So what we should do probably is actually start saturating the drums a bit so that they get more of a beefy sound. And that way it'll all work better, I think, because then or no, actually I think I have to do it the other way around. I'll have to bring the bass up, saturate that to bring some more mids in here. I'll have to figure that out. I'm not sure yet. Are you going to record the percussion stuff? Not necessarily with commentary. I'll probably just go and make something while I'm not recording. But if I figure out like a way how to make some cool sounds, then I might just do a tutorial about it somewhere next week. So, I mean, making the initial stuff, I'm probably not going to be doing a video on that. But, like when I made them, I can always run you guys through and just, you know, do a tutorial about how I made them. So, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. I don't really know what to do right now. I'm getting a little stuck with this one. Plus, it's starting to get really hot out here. I'm not sure why, but it's getting super hot out here again. So I'm gonna open my windows real quick and get some fresh air in here, and then I'm gonna catch some sleep. And then tomorrow I'm gonna be working all day. So no time to work on this track tomorrow until I come home in the evening. And I don't know how much energy I'll have left when I come home, because it's pretty hectic at my work right now. There's a couple of people that are, sick, so it's super busy. There's, of course, the people that are sick and one has a burnout. And of course that happens during the moment that most of my other colleagues are on holiday. So it's like a stressful moment, stressful times in the store right now. So it's not really the best moment to go to work, but you know, I'll just help them out tomorrow, but that's just one time only. Next week, we're going to be back again with another live stream. Next week, we're going to be streaming longer again for at least a little bit more than what we did today. And we're definitely going to do a feedback session next week. So if you want to get your track reviewed next week, then get your track ready, make something in the upcoming week, or finish something if you have something already. And then just send it over to me next week, and we'll do a feedback session in the stream. So that will be cool to do. Hope to see you guys back again next week. Yeah. If you want to get one of my sample packs or preset packs, you can go to the Black Octopus Sound website. On there, I have some sample packs and preset packs with drum sounds, bass sounds, and all kinds of stuff, so check them out. Just go to the Black Octopus Sound website, and in the search bar, just search for ArtFX, and you'll find all my packs easily. Other than that, if you want to be a member of my Discord server, then go scroll down right now. There's an invite link below the stream, and if you click that, you'll be added to my Discord server. I'm usually there after the stream. I don't know how long I'm going to be there today, because I have to go to sleep not that late. I mean, I can stay up till, I don't know, maybe 1 o'clock, but that's about max. So I'll be in the Discord server right now to talk to you guys and maybe ask some more questions. If you maybe want to ask something or ask some tips about a track, feel free to do so. I'll definitely get back at you. And yeah, that was it for this week. I hope to see you guys again next Friday, 8 PM Central European Time. I'm also gonna see if I can do some tutorials in the upcoming week. At least make some tutorials. Not sure when I'll post them, but I'm definitely gonna make some tutorials the coming week because I need to do a couple of things. I have the UVI Falcon tutorial planned. The first one is probably gonna be like a demo video of UVI Falcon, where we're just gonna look at the plugin itself and go through a bunch of the presets just to see what it sounds like and what it can do. And then after that, I want to get into doing actual tutorials with UVI Falcon, showing you guys how good it is and what it can do, because it's a beast of a plugin. I still am not fully accustomed to working with UVI Falcon because it's just such a complex and deep plugin, you know. But I'm getting better at it, and I'm definitely getting the hang of it. And the thing is, though, every time I open one of the presets inside from the factory library, I learn something new just by looking at how that preset was made. So that just shows how much stuff you can do with it. So I'm gonna try to do some tutorials soon with that plugin. Definitely looking forward to that. So I hope you guys like that, and I'll see you again next week. Peace.